Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do episode 3 of Shooting the Shiz. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? What's up? I would like to use this platform or this series to talk to you guys about what's going on with you. Leave me some comments. I would love to hear what's going on with your knife collection, what you're leaning towards right now, what you've picked up, what you're thinking about selling. Maybe we can use the comments and people can check the comments, and if you are selling a Sebenza, maybe somebody down there is looking for a Sebenza. If you do sell stuff, I suggest you sell it at a good price. That's the way to move things. I know that's an aversion people have, or people have an aversion to selling at a good price. They feel like they have to get what they paid. I paid $425 for the Sebenza, so I better get $425 or it's pointless to sell it. You know what? I'll just sit on it. I'll just keep it in my collection, not carry it or use it because I don't really like it. But since I can't get $425, it's just going to sit there and collect dust. That's definitely going to make more sense than taking 3 3/4, taking $375. Oh, I lost $50, man. But you bought it 4 years ago. You used it. You enjoyed it. Know what I'm saying? Think about it that way. I look at it as a rental fee when I sell stuff. I'm like, all right, I rented the knife. It was $50 to rent the knife for a couple months. Oh well. I'd rather lose the $50 than lose the full 4 1/4. Because it's going to be hard to get that 4 1/4 unless you're fine with it. You just want to sit on it and wait till somebody maybe pays that, which they won't. But whatever. Now, if you have a knife that everybody wants, okay, then just, charge what you paid and get it over with. If you want to be the guy who charges more, in some scenarios, I get it. Like, if I had a knife that I knew was worth $1,000 and I paid $500, it's kind of stupid to sell it for $500, I would probably sell it for $750, cut the gap a little bit. I don't want to be the guy who's getting full market on something like that, but that's because I have an aversion to wanting to be the dick. Like, I don't want to be a dick. I want people to be able to buy knives, and the way I look at it is this is my philosophy in life, essentially. How the fuck did we get here? I just started a shooting the shit video. I was going to show you some knives, and now I'm giving you my philosophy on life. Holy shit, Kev. They don't call me a master rambler for nothing. I almost said baiter, but you know what I'm saying. So here's my philosophy on life. And it's as simple as, it breaks down to do unto others as you want done to you, right? And that, I don't like that saying. I never use that saying, but that's essentially what it is. When I sell something, I think about the person buying it, right? And I think some people struggle to picture somebody else, especially somebody else they don't know or they doesn't even exist. It's an imaginary someone else, really, when you're thinking up prices and shit like that. And even when there is a somebody else, people struggle with it, right? They just think about themselves and, ooh, I could get that $425. I could get that $425. That'd be great to have that $425 in my bank account. That's what they're thinking. They're not evil. They're just like, I want that $425. You know what I mean? That's what I want in my account. I don't care. Like, I paid that. I want that. Plain and simple, So I totally get that. I'm getting killed here. I got the AC on, guys. Come on. It's gonna get loud though. Hold on. I had the vent shut up. Okay. So what about if I was the one buying it? That is how I always think about it. I go, okay, if I was selling this to myself, what would I want, right? As the buyer, I would appreciate getting the discount or getting it for what you paid, not the full market. It's essentially called empathy. I have empathy. I have fucking way too much empathy, honestly, to a point where I kind of go overboard with it. But I'd rather be that way than the opposite and be a narcissist and be selfish, But even in business, like with Divo, whenever we set pricing for things, you know, my first thought is, what would I want to pay for that? Would I want to pay more than this? No, probably not. I would start questioning it at that point. So let's set the price here. Even though our margins might not be as good as I want it to be, we still stick to that price, because it's like, well, I don't know if anybody would want to pay that much. You know, obviously it's a balance of like, I can ask for $1,000, nobody's going to pay it, so what's the point, right? You got to figure that in too. Like, you know, is anybody even going to pay $400 for this knife? That kind of thing. But we always tend to lean on the more affordable side based on our cost. You got to remember that too. That's a whole nother ball game of things we can talk about here, is cost. People don't understand really that as a business, you take what it costs and your overhead, and you kind of combine those things, and that's how you get your pricing. So if it costs us $150 to make the knife or have the knife made, right? So I've had that knife made, it's delivered to our door, $150, right? Well, we might have to sell that knife at $300. And you're gonna go, what? You're gonna double the fucking cost? Okay, hear me out. If I have to sell that knife to a dealer, they want 30%. So now I gotta sell that knife to the dealer at $225, $215, $225. Okay, so now the dealer gets that difference. What's that, $50? $50 to $75 the dealer gets, and then we get the other $75, right? Now it doesn't sound crazy, does it? I mean, if you're looking just from the outside going, $75 per knife, that's fucking amazing. You're killing it, right? Well, you got to remember, you're not just paying for the knife. You have other factors like shipping it to you. The whole order has to be shipped to you. Import taxes you have to worry about. You have to pay taxes on that $75. So that $75 turns into $60 real fast. Then you have to worry about overhead. You have to pay for a website. A lot of people have to pay for office space. You have to pay for employees if you have them, insurance, all of that shit. Now, we don't have those things. We have the website, and we have to ship stuff and keep them somewhere. And then there's two of us that we, you know, and then we want to grow the business, so we want to have money to put in. So we need to make some money to put more money in. So that $75 really is not a lot. It's just enough. And that's why you get prices like that, right? Where I could be like, all right, let's just do $350, you know? Like, people will pay $350. They'll pay $350. But that's where I go, you know, looking at that knife, I would be like, yeah, that's $300. I'd be cool with $300. You know what I mean? Knowing the OEM and everything, like, let's say you know it's Best Tech or QSP. So you know it's a little more expensive to have that knife made. If you knew it was Kubi, you'd be like, no, that needs to be like $199. You know what I mean? So you have all these factors you have to like juggle and figure out. I don't know where I was going with that. My point is, my philosophy in life, and this pertains to everything, my kid, my wife, my day job, Divo, the channel, talking to you guys, right? When I meet somebody on the street, when I'm at the post office or Lowe's, right? I always have that in mind. I'm considering the other person and trying to account for what they would want or what they would feel is fair. And I think it's a good way to look at things, because that way you're going to base it on what you think is fair as a consumer and what you think is fair from your end of things, right? Like, sometimes the person on the other end is not fair and they expect something stupid, right? Like, I had a whole argument recently with somebody where they were trying to lowball me on an item I was selling, and then I sold it to somebody else for what I asked, which was still a fucking steal of a deal. And person got so mad at me told me to fuck off and blocked me on Facebook because they wanted to negotiate. As soon as you want to negotiate, that's your choice. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But you're opening the door for somebody to come in and buy that item before you get it, because you're asking questions and trying to negotiate and whatnot. Somebody else comes along and says, hey, I'll take that thing for full price. I have to, it's just, capitalism. First come, first serve, boom. So, you got to balance all that in your head. But my point is, try to think about what you would want as the consumer. Because most of the time, the guy who charges the most he can for something is the guy who wants to pay the least for something, right? It's always that way. Why? Because they're selfish, right? They care about themselves. That's all they care about in that scenario. I'm not saying they're just like these crazy narcissist psychopaths, but in the scenario of I'm buying or selling something, they're thinking, get the most, pay the least, right? And I think if you're in a world where you're buying a car or something, you probably should, that method's pretty good. You know what I mean? Personally, I'm crazy. I still think about is the dealership going to make enough money? Is it make sense, right? But ultimately, I'm trying to get the best deal I can on the car. But when we're talking about a community and stuff like that, and one-on-one interactions with people, right? Like a dealership, that's a company, and then you have a big fucking brand behind it like Ford. All they want to do is make money. So I don't need to care about them, really. But when it's like I'm selling a knife to somebody, or as a knife company, I'm selling to the knife community, I do care a lot. And I think that's important. But, everybody has their way. I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts on selling. Like, do you just look at it like, I just want what I paid? Or do you look at it like, this is the market value, I want that or nothing else, right? Because there's plenty of guys who just keep selling shit. They'll just keep having it for sale, and months. They're like, still got this, because they just won't lower their price, And to me, I'd rather move things quick. I try to keep cash flow moving. So my theory on that, even as a business with Divo, is if I price it right, maybe we don't get as much margin, but we're moving all those units quicker, right? The knives are selling, and that means cash flow in, and then I can do more stuff, right? Where if I'm just sitting on knives because I won't budge on my price, and the price is a little bit high to the market apparently, then I'm not helping myself because I'm just sitting on inventory. I could be moving the product, and I think lowering your price, sometimes you got to do that, Anyway, that's not even what, I don't know where that came from. I apologize. Yeah. All right. So I got a new fidget, and I'm pretty excited about it. I did a video on it, but I think I'm going to refilm it because I learned some things after, and I actually ordered another one. So I'll probably scrap that video and do another one later. So this will probably be the first time you see this, other than like a short or something. But it's called the S Nano. It's from Ant Design Official. They're on Instagram. I'll link them down below. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. They sent me a couple things once to check out. I wasn't the biggest fan of the one fidget. It was called the Comma. Just not for me. And then they sent a pry bar called the E1, and I loved that pry bar. I did some videos on it. You can check it out, or shorts. But this is something I saw on Kickstarter. I didn't even realize it was the same company when I ordered it. It's called the S Nano, and it's a little slider fidget. And I wanted to compare it to the Mackie CP3 because I keep that in here. I also bought this little slip with it, but it sucks because it's very floppy, and you put it in your pocket, and I guess maybe if you had like tight pants or something, but it just like wants to come out into my pocket, and it's useless essentially. I still try to use it, but I'm gonna try to have something made But in here, in my truck pouch, I keep the CP3 from Mackie Studios. Now this right here is in Zerk, okay? Steel center Zerk plates. This guy, I think, was like $300. And it's fantastic. But it's $300. This is in Zerk. Looks just as good to me. Better almost. You can choose different patterns on these. I'll link the website. These are $109 right now. $109 for a Zerk fidget like this is amazing. They have titanium for $89, and then they have stainless steel for $69. And essentially they have 5 different plates, right? So the plates are these things that go in the center of this other plate, I guess. There's 5 parts essentially. You have the 2 outside plates, the one in the middle that has magnets, and then each outside plate actually has a inner plate right here. You can't see the groove well, but it's right here. And if you unscrew that, that plate will come out, and then you can actually replace the magnets. They're inside of this plate. So you can put magnets in here that are stronger or weaker, whatever you like. I really like how it comes. I haven't tried stronger or weaker. I don't know where you get the magnets, but I'm sure there's some kind of stock N42, N52. But if you compare it in size, it's a little bigger than the CP3, but I feel like it's thinner. So I'm gonna compare it. No, it's about the same, maybe even slightly thicker, but it doesn't feel like it. So that's not a problem at all for me. So the CP3 is a little smaller, I guess, and I love this fidget. It's so good. You just have 3 plates, and they actually, you know, come off. And then they have magnets on the inside, and then they just go up and down. And what I love about this is the strength of the magnets is good. You get good clicks. And it has good extension. So all the way extended, you're out like this. And your finger, your thumb gets like full motion. And that's what I like. A lot of fidgets like this are small, and they have like 1, 2, you get like 2 clicks and that's it. That's not satisfying for me. I want to go all the way out, right? So she said. So this guy has a similar build, except the magnets are not exposed on this side. I don't know how they're put in on this one. There might be actually, like, this might be another plate, and then the magnets are under there. So it's possible that none of these magnets are glued in, which would be awesome. And it's very smooth. I really like it. It's not as loud. So it's a different feeling. And at first I was like, I don't know. I want it to be like super loud and clicky. See, that just came apart. This can't come apart because it has those screws. You just have to make sure they're tight. Mine haven't moved at all. But it's not like, the screws don't bind anything up. It's not an issue like that. So that's what I really like about it. So I actually ordered a second one. And like I said, there's 5 different plates, so you can buy whatever you want. When you order it on their site, they'll have A, B, C, D, E. And then you just choose, I want an A and an E, right? And then you pick Zerk black. They don't have other colors of Zerk. Or you get titanium silver, and then you can pick A and E, or B and C, whatever you want, B, B, whatever. This one is A, I think, and it's just basic, has their logo on the front with some lines. I like it. And then this one is B. It has like the crosshatch look, and I love that. So what I did was I ordered another one, $109. And the other ones are, they have one that's a pattern like this, but it's kind of looks like a turtle's back, or turtle shell. And then they have 2 other ones like this, one that has 5 trit slots up here, and one that has a trit slot here and a trit slot here. So I ordered another one. I kept the same crosshatch because I really like this. And then I got the one with a trit here and a trit here, and then they sell tritium. So I bought the tritium as well. I'm hoping I got the right size because they sell 2 sizes and they don't freaking tell you which one fits this, unfortunately. So I ordered the smaller one, just kind of made sense. So I'm hoping to pimp that out and I'll have trit in there. I'm not really a tritium guy because I don't fidget in the dark or do anything in the dark really but sleep. So it's kind of weird to me to do that, but I just really like this and wanted another one, and I wanted to make it different. So that's what I did. And the tritium's expensive. It's like 15 bucks for a tiny little vial. So if I had got the one with 5 that looked cooler, you know, that's like $100 I'd be spending on just the tritium. Just not worth it for me. So I'm hoping to get a slip made, and then, yeah. But the CP3 is still phenomenal. I'm not going to sit here and say it's better. But I do like it better in certain ways. And I think for you guys, I think the number one thing I hear about fidgets, which I've been kind of out of lately, the number one thing I hear is it's just too expensive to get into. Like, I'm already into knives. I don't want to get into that. You know what I mean? So 109 bucks for Zerk, or 69 for stainless, 89 for tie. It gets you a premium product. Like, this is really, really well machined. Personally, it's just as good as a CP3, and you can get it in Zerk for 1/3 of the price. So, no brainer to me. I will put a link down below. Again, not affiliated, just wanted to mention it. And I want them to do well because I want them to make more cool stuff. And then I have a slip joint, my Feel Good Jack with my Northwoods Leatherworks Ghost Leather slip, so it's black wax on the yellow. And I have the Limoncello Feel Good. This is probably my favorite slip joint right now. Just love a sheep's foot blade. It's a little smaller than the Midnight, more comfortable in the hand for me because of that, and just more wieldable. Walk and talk is stupidly good on this. Jumps and pops. Absolutely love this knife. They just dropped the Feel Good, or the Gunslinger Jack, which is their first locking knife. It has a front flipper and long pulls for flicking. And guys, check my videos out. It's amazing. $349, and they're selling fast. They had a lot of those made, and they're probably going to sell out at some point, a lot sooner than slip joints. So I think they've learned that locking knives are popular, and they're probably going to do more. So that's awesome. I do want to see them do mostly slip joints, though, because that's what made me fall in love with Jack Wolf. But I do like the idea of slipping in some locking knives as well. But the Feel Good knife Jack is just top notch, guys. Seriously, top notch. And since I sent my barley prototype out again to G-Ball, I'm gonna carry that for now. The other knife I'm carrying is my Imamba from Arno Bernard, and yeah, this knife is just amazing. I love this knife. I can't get enough of it. It's a Sebenza with a flipper tab and bearings, and it's perfect. It's what I want the Sebenza to be. You're gonna hear me say that to the end of days with this one. As long as I have it, that's what I'm gonna say. And I got that gold snakeskin, fat carbon. It's lefty friendly. Just really good. I mean, I would love to see a small, like a 3-inch one or something like that, just to see how that would be. I'd probably go non-flipper on a 3-inch, which would be pretty cool. Then you could choke up a little bit, maybe. Just a dope knife. I do wish they would do a normal belt satin or something. This like mirrored belt satin is crazy. It's just a super high polish on it, but such a good knife. Absolutely in love, and just glad that I picked one of these up at Blade Show. I think these are available on their site right now as well. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I chipped my new fucking awesome flashlight in DLC. Didn't think that was possible. Let me see if I can find it. It's not as bad as it was the other night. That's the thing. Things wear in. You can see that right there. But it looked way worse on the live when I chipped it. Thought I had 2 marks. Yeah, it's just that one, and you know what? It might honestly wear in. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I did notice that there's a new brand, not a new brand, but a new flashlight from Laulima Metalcraft. I had the Hoku a long time ago. It was a twisty. It was one of the first expensive flashlights I got. And I really liked the light. It just was a twisty, and I hated that. Now they now have a clicky version, so I can't wait to try one of those. I kind of want to get one just to give it a shot, even though the micro click from CWF is my favorite light ever. I do want to, you know, give them a fair shake. Maybe that one's better, who knows. But I love this light. I have 2 of them now. I have the polished titanium one and this DLC tie with the Zerblast. Just a wonderful pocket flashlight for EDC. I think that's it. I don't really, you know, it's just shooting the shiz. And apparently I wanted to complain or talk about pricing on things. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. But maybe some of you learned something, or you guys want to school me on something. I'm not an expert in any of that. I'm not like some expert businessman or anything. You know, we're winging it as we go. But I try to keep empathy in mind at all times, pretty much. And I think it is to a fault. So, you know, I'd love to hear your guys' take on that. And like I said, I want to hear about your life or whatever you want to talk about down below. Let me know. Leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm if you leave a comment, like the video. I don't ask for that, but I probably should. So if you guys would like the video, leave a comment. You know, just let me know what you're doing today. I'm gonna head home. My kid's taking a nap, and we're gonna go to the pool when she wakes up. I'm excited. It's summer, and we got a pool membership this year, and we went twice last week, and it's so fun. I just like being in a pool. I'm just relaxed. It's literally my best self is when I'm just chilling in a pool, you know? So, and then next week we are going to Montana. We're taking a family trip. My wife and my daughter, and then my parents are actually meeting us there. We rented a house in right outside of Glacier National Park, and we're gonna hang out at Glacier. We're gonna be there a week. I don't know what it's gonna be like. Never been there, but I've been out west. I just haven't been to Glacier, and we've been wanting to go to somewhere like that for a long time. We haven't had a vacation, like a real vacation, in years. I mean, the last time we did anything was like we went to the Outer Banks in 2020 when my daughter was born. It was like she was 3 months, and oh my God, it was not a vacation. But we were there for a week with my brother and his family, and it was fun, but like, you know, we were taking care of a crying. She was struggling at the time. She had like indigestion and stuff. So that was the last vacation we had. And then we were supposed to go to Cape May the next year, but we got COVID or something and we couldn't go. And then I don't even know. We just haven't planned anything since. So, yeah, I think it'll be good for us to get away and do that. I also have kind of had an update at work. I've been trying to push to go part-time for a while so that I can focus on the channel and Divo and stuff more. And I kind of got that. I'm cutting my hours back. It's probably going to be more like 4 days a week. And I can kind of make the hours as I want. Like I can do them whenever. I'm not like 9 to 5 anymore. You know, I used to have to worry about phone calls and shit more. And I don't have to worry about that really now. But I have a different role, so I'm learning a lot right now too, which is obviously taking up more time. So we'll see as I get better at that, which I'm good at it. It's just a matter of picking up the knowledge of certain things. Like all the like technical stuff I have down. That's easy. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'll probably, you know, decide what I'm gonna do from there. If I'm just gonna stick with that, or yeah, I don't know. So cool stuff going on. Summertime. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Truly, I hope so. Hope you're enjoying your family, and yeah, I love you guys. All right, I'll catch you later. Peace.